Hi, my name is John Whitehead. I'm an executive and leadership coach, and welcome to this week's video blog post. Over the last few weeks, I've been exploring my interpretation of Marshall's 20 Habits That Keep You from the Top, which you can find in his book, What Got You Here Won't Get You There. We're at one of those 20 habits, which can be pretty significant, but also something that can be managed. And I keep harping on this idea of self-awareness, is understanding our own behaviors, how we have a tendency to speak, to talk, how we have a tendency to behave, not only in the workplace, but also in the home and in the community at large. And the habit that we're talking about, what we've got reached right now, is speaking when angry. Now, listen, we're humans. We get upset. We get irritated. We'll tend to spout off when we're irritated or upset. Recognizing, though, the impact that it has on others, and also recognizing why it is that we're angry. And in the workplace, as a leader, it's important that we, as Cousins and Parsons talks about, model the way, model the behavior that we expect in others. Now, some of you may have had managers, supervisors that lost it. Now, I'm going to assume that if they reached that place in their roles, that may have been not necessarily a one-off, but they may have happened fairly irregularly. If it did happen regularly, then there's a real problem there. But most of us, I think, recognize that we get mad, we say something, we feel bad about it. So what is this all about, speaking, when we get angry, stuff comes out of our mouth? Again, if we think about self-awareness, and we really look at it and reflect on it, who we're really mad at. Now, last week, I explained a process, a methodology that I put my clients through, where they take 5 to 10 days at the end of the day and reflect on the day, and reflect on a particular item, something that they're working on. Maybe it means that they need to slow down and listen more. Maybe it was last week where, think about those times where you just had to have the last word. You said something to show how smart you were. If you think back over the day and find yourself getting angry and upset, why is that happening? Reflect on that. Think about that for a minute. Now, I was working with a client not that long ago, and he was telling me a story of an issue, a challenge he was having with one of his other staff people, and how he got mad and angry and blew up at them. And I wanted to, so why did you do that? And he started talking about what the other person did. And I said, and what was the impact on that? And we had it went back and forwards a few times. But at some point he said, well, I was upset at what it would look like to my boss. So it wasn't about the other person, but it was about you, was it? And you could see a light bulb go on. The reason why I was angry was not because of what this person had done, is because how it would reflect on him. Now, Marshall says in his book, he says, there's a really easy thing to do here, and that's shut up. Because if you shut up, nobody knows how you're feeling about something. That's really hard, because the emotions are going. The emotions are going, and it's really, 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 really hard to do that. But there is hope. And the hope is if you practice it, like any habit, if you practice it, like going to the gym and working out and strengthening those muscles, if you practice it over time, you can learn to sense that emotion rising up in you, and you can stop. Another client I was working with, I walked into his office one day, and he said, before we start, he said, I just got to tell you that I was having this conversation with somebody, and I could feel the emotions rising in me. I could actually literally feel it. And I said, oh, and I stopped, because I was thinking about the work, what you had said, John. I remember what you said about those emotions and how they can be that trigger. And so for him, because he'd been reflecting on it every day, he caught it in the moment. He said, and he stopped and he shut up. And he said to the other person, can you tell me more? There is so much we can learn if we stop and reflect on ourselves and what's happening. So, speaking when angry? Yeah, we're going to do it. But we can reduce it and reduce it and reduce it till we get to the point where we just don't say anything. Other people don't know. Try it. I'd be interested in your comments, thoughts and ideas. I mean, none of these things are very simple or very easy to do, are they? And again, it's my interpretation. But for someone who has gone through a period in their life where anger was a big thing, and to get a handle on it and recognize why that was happening and understand it and deal with it, it can change your life. So again, I'm happy to hear your comments and your thoughts and ideas. And by the way, remember, if you sign up for my blog posts, you can get, I'm giving you a free book, free copy of my ebook, What Are These Things Called Soft Skills? Anyway, thanks for now. We'll talk to you next week.